So we'll switch over to our Mariners here. On a more positive note, we actually have baseball games to look back at once again. Since the last time we had that was, I think we came to you from the final 3 games of the series against the Angels as the Mariners pushed for a potential playoff spot. We do have games to look at. So over the past week, the Mariners played the San Diego Padres on the 18th, losing that game 4-6. Player of the game, center fielder and number 1 prospect in the system, Julio Rodriguez, 1-for-1, hit a 3-run bomb. That was an easy no-doubter, and got walked in his next appearance. So Julio made a big splash. On the 19th, the team played the Dodgers, winning that game 7-6. But the game would be right fielder and Everett native Steven Souza Jr. Going for 1-for-3, hitting a grand slam, the first grand slam of the Mariners spring training this season. And then the 20th versus the Anaheim Angels. I will call them Anaheim. I'm not calling them Los Angeles because they're in Anaheim. They're right down the street, right down the road from Disneyland. Okay, it just annoys me that they call themselves.
Disneyland
Technically,
Angels.
their legal name is the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, which is very weird. Yeah, it messes with me. So they're the Anaheim Angels, losing that game 3-7. New outfielder Jesse Winker went 1-for-3 with a 2 RBI double. So we move now. We're back to players of the week. I had. Actually, since this is your first time doing Players of the Week, Belle, we'll take a look at yours. Who did you have?
Yeah, so I went with
small sample size, but we're working with it, right?
Third baseman Joe Brito, who went 1 of 2, no runs, a .500 average, .500 OBP, 1.00 SLG, 1.50 OPS. So that was my
we're looking
player
at
of the week.
as you could see, going 1 for 2. Mine's 2 for 4. Small sample size, but we're back to games, so we're going to get it in there. I had Dylan Moore, went 2 for 4 with a run, a 500 batting average, a 500 on base percentage, a 500 slugging percentage, and a 1.00 on base plus slugging. So we move as, we're all happy about games being back. We move to a sadder note. Relief pitcher Casey Sadler is out for the season. Sadler will have surgery on his right shoulder. He had been dealing with some soreness in spring training.
Mm-hmm.
One of those key pieces for the Mariners bullpen last season, had a .67 ERA in 42 games, had a 29-inning consecutive no-run streak. But Seattle, the bullpen will still have Drew Steckenrider, Paul Sewald, Diego Castillo, and last year addition Ken Giles, who did not play last year, all in the bullpen this year and potentially more. But, losing depth always sucks, right? Because there might be points in the season where you say, hey, who else do we got? And you might have a Casey Sadler available, and now you won't. So,
no word on what the injury was, or
not officially. I just know it was a shoulder thing, and that he was supposed to. They on Saturday they were looking into treatment options, and then shortly after it was
surgery,
season-ending surgery. So, the Mariners lose an arm in the bullpen. On the contrary, we have some signings to look at here. Firstly, the first few days of spring training, the team signed 3 minor league deals. On the 15th, the team signed first baseman Mike Ford to a minor league deal. He was previously a Rule 5 pick for the Mariners. On the 16th, the team signed former top prospect catcher Chance Sisco to a minor league deal with an invitation to MLB camp. On the 20th, the team signed pitcher Ryan Buchter to a minor league deal with an invite to MLB camp. And then today, on the 21st, the Mariners added a few more players to their MLB camp. Outfielder Billy Hamilton and pitcher Andrew Albers, both the minor league deals, of course, inviting those to the MLB camp. Billy Hamilton's a guy that was a speedy guy. I know he had a lot of plays on the base paths this offseason, but this past season. But I think, again, we talk about depth, right? Depth never hurts. So I don't, tying this to depth and Colin Kaepernick, why not giving these guys a shot, right? It's spring training. The Mariners dealt with some injuries last year. Why not, know you've got some security down in the minor league levels so that if you need to, you can call guys up when someone goes out for, an NIL stint.
Yeah.
Also today, the team sent down 6 players to their minor league camp. Right-handed pitcher David Ellingson, outfielder Jack Larson, left-handed pitcher Ian McKinney, catcher Brian O'Keefe, right-handed pitcher Patrick Weigel, and left-handed pitcher Danny Young. So moving over here to league notes, I know that since we got into actual free agency, right, and we weren't worrying about the lockout, a few names that people were looking at were Chris Bryant and Trevor
Mhm.
Story. Potentially, I know with the trade of Jesse Winker and Eugenio Suarez, it was hoped that Brett Bryant would still be brought in. Story would be put at second base. I know that some people thought Carlos Correa could maybe sign with Seattle as a dark horse. I didn't really buy stock in that. On the 16th, Chris Bryant signed with the Colorado Rockies on a 7-year, $182 million deal.
Wow.
On the 20th, Trevor Story signed with the Red Sox. And Correa signed with the Twins on a 3-year deal, $105.3 million, which includes opt-outs after the first year and the second year. So that deal to me was really interesting because it says, hey, if things don't work out how I want them to in Minnesota and I don't like it, I can reset myself next free agency. And I know that the Story deal, I didn't get the full details on that. He's got opt-outs too. So, I know that there was some disappointment with not getting Bryant or Story. I mean, do you weigh in on any of this? I know that a lot of people, there was concern with raising the payroll this offseason, say, hey, we want you to go out and get some more guys and, shell out some more cash. Right now, the Mariners sit at 22nd in Major League Baseball in terms of payroll, and they're sitting behind the Cincinnati Reds, who they just acquired 2 of the Reds' biggest stars. I don't know. Do you have an opinion on that? Do you think Seattle should have taken a swing at some of those deals? I mean, at least to me, a 7-year deal, I wouldn't want that.
I was a fan of the Chris Bryant possibly signing, and I kind of hoped that I could see him in a Mariners jersey just because I've seen him play before and was kind of a fan. But that 7-year, wow, that's a commitment for sure.
Yeah.
Could we have even offered the 182 mil?
Yeah. Could have, but I don't know if Dipoto wants to, lock himself into a deal that long.
Yeah.
I think from what I understand, Seattle offered a 5-year, and they said we're not going higher than that. And Colorado said, okay, sure. It's funny because Colorado traded away a player with a massive contract just a season or 2 ago,
just to gain another one.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, you double dipping? What are we doing here?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm fine with missing out on those guys because of the cost. But I know that some people are like, hey, you promised me you'd spend more money. And, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
You sign Robbie Ray. That's great. You get Jesse Winker. That's great. But in terms of general offseason and free agents, outside of Robbie Ray, free agency, been pretty quiet for Seattle. And I don't know. It's interesting. I still would like to get another starting pitcher to round out the rotation, the 5-man rotation. But there's not really anybody on the free agency market that is available for that anymore. And 2, the guys that are available via trade, 2 of them are in your division. So I don't know if, you want the other team wants to trade in their division. And 2, what else are you going to give up?
Yeah.
You gave up one of your top pitching prospects. You gave up Jake Fraley, who was an outfielder that, was it going to be a trade piece? Justin Dunn was a pitcher that you could have traded. You gave up those 3. What else do you give up now? Do you risk giving up another prospect or, so I'm okay with it, but I do still hope that we're not done with acquiring players.
Yeah, definitely.
Also, in league-related notes, on the 17th, the MLB draft date was set. The MLB draft will be featured during All-Star Week, as it normally is, this time in Los Angeles, from the 17th of July to the 19th of July. So the Mariners sit at a 1-2 record in spring training. I wouldn't buy too much stock into the record. It is spring training, and you're seeing a lot of minor league guys get starting minutes. Ahead
on a hefty schedule here.
A hefty schedule. You see, we've got 7 games going on here, so it's kind of like a collage. We've thrown everything in there. On the 21st, which is today, this game is going on right now. The Mariners are taking on the Diamondbacks. Let's take a peek into what's going on here. Let's take a little peek here as MLB Game Day tries to assist me. Ooh, it is the end of the second inning, and the Diamondbacks are leading 6-0.
Ooh.
Wow. Let's see what's going on. Diamondbacks got 2 runs in the first inning and 4 in the second. Oh, boy. So there was a grand slam that was hit by the Diamondbacks, and then a 2-run shot that was hit in the first inning. So, yeah.
Let's look ahead to the next one on the schedule.
On the 22nd, the team takes on the Chicago Cubs at 1:10. On the 24th, the team takes on the Cleveland Guardians at 1:05. on the 25th versus the White Sox at 6:40. 26th versus the Milwaukee Brewers at 110. 27th at the Oakland Athletics at 105, and 28th versus the Texas Rangers at 110. So get that big collage out of the way.